What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're with full rival hop team. Ryan, this one is for you, man. Thank you very much for being a Patreon. If you want to be a Patreon and get your own custom theme team or Pokemon sweep, you can become one in the description of the video by going to patreon.com/PIMPNITE and anything on the tier 2 or above. And once again, people can get your own custom theme team or any Pokemon sweep you'd like or a theme team you'd like. Check it out there, and thank you very much to all my Patrons. Let's get into today's video. We got 2 battles, and they were pretty good. Now, for these sort of theme teams, I'm going to be using Hop's exact Pokemon and the exact moves he used. Some of the moves he had were really good, but some of them were like a little bit interesting, to say the least. Now, there's a couple more themes I actually haven't done. I haven't done like honey mustard. I haven't done, I'm trying to think, the Clara. I haven't done Avery. So there's still like a few I haven't covered. And Chairman Rose, I haven't done there's like 5 of them still, just off the top of my head there. But we're fairly getting close to getting them done. Okay, so we got Snipe Shot, Sucker Punch, Ice Beam, and Dank Pulse. That's the usual sort of set here. We've actually got a physical move on the tail on though, which is kind of interesting. So the EVs I gave this one, I just gave it Max Speed and Max Special Attack. I actually gave it Naive Nature. So we got the Primarina coming in. I went for the Snipe Shot here. And the item I gave this one was Scope Lens too. Obviously, there wasn't any items and EVs on the Pokemon. So we got the Scope Lens damage. That is actually a nearly almost a clear 2-hit KO. Very, very close. So I'm still thinking if I get a crit on this one, it'll almost be able to take Primarina out. Primarina is a fairly dangerous Pokemon. So I went for the Snipe Shot and hope I could get the crit here, to try and take it out. It was possible that I could still take it out, but it was a very sort of like low chance. And then I don't get the crit at all. I'm like, man, that sort of sucks. And now Primarina is going to fire off a little ball of green at me, and that's going to take out my Intello. Not much I could have done there. I hope for the crit, and that's what happened. So I actually got the a pretty interesting team here. Now, out of Hop's team, there was actually quite a few options you could pick, and I picked the one that I versed, right? So, yeah, there could be, like, different to other people, and the Legendary, of course, could be different as well, and, what starter you picked and stuff like that. So, next one we got is Churchill here. Churchill is an awesome little Pokemon. I ran this one as a bulky physical attacker. Zing Zap, Poison Jab, Liquidation, Recover. They were the moves that Hop gave it. I ran it as Max Health and Max Attack with Adamant Nature, right? Now, we got the Electric Terrain there, which is going to be the Electric Surge, which is going to be super nice for the Zing Zap there. I get hit pretty hard there by a Water type move. It's going to drop my Special Attack as well. Was that a Water type move or was it Moon? Oh, it was Moon Blast. It wasn't a Water type move. What am I going on about and getting my Moons and my Water mixed up? And Opera Time is going to go down without singing many songs. So I'm in a pretty good position at the moment until Mammoth Swine came into the battle. And then I'm thinking, right, okay, it's probably going to use Earthquake 1000%. And they know that I'm going to swap. So I'm thinking, maybe I should just stay in and go for Liquidation, right, and expect them to go for an Ice-type move. And they went for Earthquake. So, okay, not much I could have done there. That's how it was. It was sort of a 50-50. And Mammoth Swine was a fairly good Pokemon against my team. So I've lost 2 of my Pokemon already. I thought, okay, well, Snorlax will be a good Pokemon to swap in here. On this set, I've got a super effective move. I've got Hammer Arm. I've got Earthquake, I've got Heavy Slam, and I've got Crunch. So that were the moves I gave it. Once again, I ran this as a really fat set with Max Health and Max Attack, right? Snorlax is a really, really, bulky Pokemon. Now, the item I gave this was Assault Vest. So I went for the Heavy Slam first. We got Mammoth Swine going for the Earthquake there, and that's a 3-hit KO. So Snorlax should be able to handle this one, pretty good. So Mammoth Swine isn't exactly it's a pretty thick Pokemon, right? So Heavy Slam sort of did underwhelming damage. Like, okay, well, that's going to be a 3-hit KO. Mammoth Swine's going to be able to beat me, right? If I go for Hammer Arm now, that'll be enough to take out Mammoth Swine, right? That'll be cool. So Mammoth Swine is going to go for the Earthquake there. And I leave that one not very well, but I still leave it, which is good. And Hammer Arm misses right there. I'm like, man, that was such a big miss there for the Snorlax. Because I would have taken it out, and then I sort of would have been seeing what the next Pokemon was. I might have been able to prepare for it. And I might have been able to use Snorlax later on. So that's bad. I can't swap out here. It was really bad. This Mammoth Swine is causing me a lot of problems. So now we got another Earthquake, and Snorlax is going to go down. Now the rules on this team, I wasn't allowed to Dynamax. I was only allowed to use Dynamax or G-Max against one Pokemon that Hop had, which of course was the Corviknight. So in the double, we got Cotton Guard, Double Kick. Yes, it had Double Kick, and Headbutt, and it had Double Edge as well. So bit of a random set here, and it's got Cotton Guard. So okay, let's get some Cotton Guards up and boost our defense a little bit, right? Now, the item I gave this was Normal Gem. to boost up the power of Double Edge, right? And also I had a headbutt there. I'm like, I might be able to get to flinches, right? So I ran a speedy set, which was a jolly set, and I gave it max attack, right? So I could go first and possibly flinch the opponent. So I had to use double kick. I just couldn't help myself there. I'm going to kick the Mammoth, and it does pretty bad damage, as you'd probably expect from double kick. However, the avalanche from the Mammoth one isn't going to do much. Like, I'm very tanky at the moment, like super duper tanky. So, I said danky, not tanky then. So I can go for another double kick and take out double kick on Mammoth Swine. Oh, no, PIMPNITE Shadow, people. And Mammoth Swine's going to go for the Ice Shove there. It's going to do like 1 damage. I could go for the double kick and take out the Ice Mammoth. That caused me a lot of problems. Like, that thing should have been fainted like 3 or 4 turns ago. Anyway, that's how it is. And we've got a big old sheep on the field, and things are pretty good, right? I haven't used up my normal gem either, so I can fire off a powerful double edge with the normal gem against this Volcarona. Now, I know this thing's probably going to go for Equidance, so I've got to hit it hard and I've got to hit it fast, right? I was wondering if I was going to outspeed, and I did. I was like, oh, cool, that's really good. So getting the normal gem activation there on double edge, I'm like, this is going to do a lot. Like, this has to do some good damage. I thought it actually would take it up, but it didn't. So, and then Flame Body kicks it at the same time. I'm like, man, this is it's one of these days, people. So now Volcarona's going to get a Quiver Dance up there, and now it's going to be able to outspeed me, and it's definitely going to be able to take me out too. I was like, okay, the only bad thing here is if it does have like Fiery Dance, it potentially could boost its special attack another stage, and then I'll be facing down a Quiver Dance at +2 in special attack Volcarona, and things are going to be anyway, things are going to be pretty dicey versus. So we got the Fiery Dance here. I was like, oh man, this is really bad. And double, well, that's going to take out the entire herd, isn't it? So it's going to get a special attack boost there as well. Down goes double. I've got 2 Pokemon left, and I've only taken 2 out, which is bad. So at the moment, it's 2-4, so I'm well down. So into Corviknight now, I was like, okay, Corviknight. This is an Ockerberry. I can actually G-Max this. Obviously, Hop G-Max is here. So my only chance is actually G-Max this and go for the G-Max Wind Rage and live this right. Now, the EVs I ran this, I didn't run it speedy. I ran it very bulky, and I ran it offensive. So I ran max health and I ran max attack. A lot of my Pokemon were actually very bulky, like Corviknight, Snorlax, and Pidgeotto all had they're actually the same like EVs, right? So going into big old G-Max Corviknight, it looks really, really awesome. I love how it just hovers there in the air. It's like one of those little I forgot what the bird is called. I think it's like a little hovering bird, right? It'll hover in the sky, right? And then it sees like a mouse on the ground. Then it goes down and gets a mouse and comes up again. I don't know. I'm not sure what that bird's called. Anyway, so I lived that so well there with the Ockerberry, which is beautiful. And now I can go for a G-Max Wind Rage, and that is most definitely going to take out the Volcarona in one shot. I mean, it was very damaged earlier on from my double edge, right? So that thing's, yeah, that was really, really good. So I got 3 more Pokemon here, and we got Chest Strings coming out, which is the Toxtricity. So like, okay, all right, so electric attack from this thing is going to do some pretty nasty damage to Corviknight, and they could G-Max as well. They haven't Dynamax, they haven't even G-Max yet, so, there is that possibility there. Corviknight's just, it's just hanging there in the air. It's hanging 69 in the air. How many claws has it got? 1, 2, 3. It's got 8. Oh, my bad, not 69. So I thought, okay, well, my best option here, I could either get a Bolster in defense, or I could get a G-Max Wind Rage off. It was sort of like, I was thinking, okay, they're probably going to be running a special set, judging on what moves they've run already, right? And now we got the G-Max G-Max Toxtricity. It's kind of funny, they've got like got the Leon outfit on here. And man, just one thing about Hop, right? Man, Hop streams got absolutely crushed, like in the game. Like when you really paid attention at the end, like he was defeated as like a character, right? I found that really sad actually. So anyway, Toxtricity is going to use its G-Max Stun Shock there, and there is no way there's no way at all I'm going to be able to live this one at all. So down goes Corviknight. I've got 1 more Pokemon left, and that is the best Pokemon on my team, like by far. It doesn't even become close, right? So Zacian, the last Pokemon, and of course, this has got a really good moveset on as well. There was no way that I couldn't use this, so this was like the sweatiest Pokemon on my team. Max Speed, Max Attack, I ran this one as Jolly Nature. We get the +1 upon swapping in, so I thought that was best. So we got Crunch, Behemoth Blade, Sword Dance, and Close Combat. Man, like, this is a good Pokemon, like, really good. So, I'm in a hard situation here, like something else, and I've got 3 Pokemon to take out. So, I went for Behemoth Blade, even though it resisted it right, I do get that big bonus against, the big Pokemon like G-Max and Dynamax. It almost takes it out there, so that was pretty impressive considering, and we're going to pop that Balloon, not that it really mattered at all. And now we got the G-Max Stun Shock here, so it's like, okay, This probably will do decent damage, but I don't think it'll take me out. And it didn't. Like, it only did, it's a 2-hit KO, so I was happy with that. I know that I can outspeed this, and I know that I can take it out with Behemoth Blade. So that's really, really good. Zacian is such a broken Pokemon. Like, honestly, when I was using this, then I'm like, man, I don't really want to use this Pokemon because it's like a completely opposite PIMPNITE Pokemon. It's like way too good. Like, you could literally like facepalm the Switch, like Pro Controller, or the Switch itself if you really want to, and you could win. Like, that's how good this Pokemon is. Definitely like one of the best Pokemon out there for sure. Okay, so down goes Toxtricity. I've taken 4 Pokemon out, and the next Pokemon here we have is Dragon Ball. So I'm like, okay, Dragon Ball. Well, I can land that with a Crunch, a +1 Crunch. That'll do some really good damage. And it depends what sort of item it has. If it has Choice Scarf, it'll outspeed me, you know. I've got the Jolly Nature, so going for the Crunch, I do outspeed there, which is really good. And it's got a Focus Sash. I'm like, no, not Focus Sash, Dragon Ball again. All I need to see now is a Focus Sash, Quick Attack, Dragon Ball. Now, instead of being a special set, they're going to disappear into the void, and they're going to try to spank me when I'm not looking. Now, the only good thing about this, right, the only good thing about this situation is I'm actually going to resist their attack. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just go for a Sword Dance there. There's nothing I can do, get myself another +2 in attack. And if I'm able to live this attack, I'll definitely be lined up for the last Pokemon with a lot of attack rate. So Zacian managed to live that only because of resist rate. I'm assuming they had a Dragon type move, and that's going to fail, and all the other moves, that was their best move they could use against me. That sort of makes sense to me, right? So we got the Crunch here, and that is definitely going to go down there on 1 health. And I've got 1 more Pokemon left to deal with, right? And that Pokemon also was going to be a bit of a problem in the preview, and that is the Urshifu. So like, okay, well, Urshifu, that's going to be easy peasy. I've got +3 in attack. That's going to absolutely demolish it, unless they got like a Focus Sash or something weird like that, or a Focus Band. And then they got the Choice Scarf. I'm like, man. Oh, and down goes Zachary Zacian. I'm sorry, Zachary. But a dang good battle there. Hope you people enjoyed this first one. Very close there. Zacian was just so broken that I almost got back into the game just with that single one Pokemon. Okay, let's get on to the second battle here. Now, the second battle was pretty interesting as well. We got a battle here against Dono Van. These ones are done on my Twitch stream too. So once again, if you do want a battle opportunity against me, I do take battles against viewers and stuff on my stream. So link in the description, twitch.tv/PIMPNITEYT. So much fun there with the streams. Okay, so we got a Drapion leader. Drapion can have battle armor, so I'm thinking, man, this isn't the greatest matchup in the history of Pokemon here. Or do I just go for Snipe Shot and it's a 2-hit KO, regardless, right? So go for that Snipe Shot. I'm like, well, anything can be better than a Perimeter swapping in, right, and taking me out with Energy Ball. That is a critical hit. So I'm like, okay, not battle armor then. Regardless, it would have been a 2-hit KO. Anyway, so we got the knockoff there. It's going to get rid of my Scope Lens, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's all good. I can go for a Snipe Shot here and take out the Drapion for the early lead. That would have been really good if I could one-shot that, but Drapion does have a bit of bulk to it, so, I definitely didn't expect to one-shot that Pokemon. Okay, so out comes Umbreon. I'm like, man, there's nothing I can do here. Like, my Scope Lens is gone right now, so I definitely need crits against Umbreon. It's super bulky. So I got to swap the Inteleon out into Snorlax. So like, okay, I wonder what sort of set this is going to be for a start. And then they use Whistle. I'm like, okay, well, if Snorlax goes for a Hammer Arm right this second, it's just going to get healed up by Wish again, so there's no point. The only Pokemon that I can deal with Umbreon on this team is Zachary Zacian, right? So I can go for a close combat and, take that out easy. And they probably won't be I don't think they'll be very quick to swap it out either. So they went for a Toxic on the Snorlax. It's going to miss. Obviously, it's not going to miss. I'm going to get absorbed. It's quite funny because my Snorlax has immunity, so that wouldn't have even worked either. So I went for the close combat, and of course, Umbreon is most definitely not going to be living that one. So I had to take it out. I had no choice there. None of my Pokemon could have actually taken the Umbreon out at all. So that's nice. We've taken 2 Pokemon. I haven't even lost the Pokemon yet, so things are going pretty dandy at the moment. Now, the next Pokemon is Incineros. I'm like, okay, Incineroar. That could be a problem if it Dynamaxes, so I just want to see what they do first. So I swapped the Zacian out, and I went into Field Churchill to get that terrain on the field as well, and see what they're going to do. So I thought I might go for a Zing Zap, or I might even go for a Liquidation. I'm not. One of those 2 moves would be kind of nice, right? And it's fairly bulky. So we got the Electric terrain in the field, and now it's a special set. It goes for the Flamethrower. I'm like, man. And it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does burn me. I'm like, oh, come on. So that's a burn, which is going to cost me really dearly there in my attack, so it's not going to do as much as I would have liked. So I can either go for Zing Zap or Liquidation. I was like, let's just go for Zing Zap. And now we got a foul play here from Incineros, and it does pretty nice damage, almost taking me out there, going for that Zing Zap. Now, you see how powerful that Zing Zap was? And it turned out to be a Zoroark. I'm like, okay, if I didn't get burned by the flamethrower, right, Zoroark is, probably almost would have gone down there. I found it funny they're running a special Incineros as well. I'm like bells start to ring at that point. So they've got the Zoroark. They're going to go for U-turn, and Churchill is going to go down. I feel like when you attack Churchill, you should say some, I don't know, I feel like you should take some sort of damage. Like, imagine... I don't even know what U-turn is. It's like a somersault or something like that. Imagine somersaulting into Churchill. You'd have to get some damage from those spikes, right? Okay, so we got the Sharpedo sliding in here, and I'm going to bring him to double. So I'm like, okay, double will do some pretty good damage with double kick. I could go for double edge, but I don't want to use that. I don't want to use that up just yet. I feel like double kick will be like, a 2-hit KO, right? So they're going to go for a Poison Fang, and instantly they're going to poison it. So I think it's got like a 50% chance of poison. Go for the double kick. Oh, it was very close, but it just wasn't enough damage. Just enough base power in the move, and it wasn't stabbed, right? So Sharpedo is not going to go down, but it's pretty good. Now I can go for a, I'll take it. They may swap out here, so should I go for the double edge, or should I go for the headbutt to finish off? Out of all the battles, I actually haven't done headbutt at all, so I'm thinking, it's going to go for headbutt and take it out. It doesn't really matter, right? So I'm probably going to get revenge KO'd by, that Zoroark. If it comes in and uses flamethrower, I'm toast, right, with the, Fluffy. So I'm going to go for the headbutt there. We've got the normal jet activation, and Sharpedo is not going to be able to live this one. The interesting thing about headbutt right there, if you noticed, it used headbutt, but it turned around and almost used it. I don't know. It was almost using its butt instead of its head. It was super weird. I don't know why it has to turn around to use headbutt. It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, so now we got the Incineros coming in with the Intimidate. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this is definitely a fire-type move coming my way here. I either stay in or just go for a double edge or a double kick. It doesn't really matter. So I was like, okay, let's just go for double edge. That'll be some sort of damage to Incineros, right? So I do pretty good damage. I'm kind of happy with that, and it's got some little bit of recall, and it's going to go for a sword dance. I'm like, oh dear, this isn't very good. So it's got +2 in attack right now. I'm thinking I can go for another double edge, and I'll go down to the recall and the poison damage anyway. They could possibly go for another sword dance already knowing this, so this is dangerous, right? Because I've got Zacian. That's going to get destroyed by a fire move. So go for the double edge. Double edge does pretty good damage there, and I'm going to go down to the recall and the poison rain. And now they're going to go for the Dankus Lariat, but that's fine. I'm all good with that. I needed a fresh Pokemon in there, right? So I've got Inteleon, which I know that I can outspeed Incineroar, and I know that I can take it out, right? The only thing is there is no scope lens, right? So okay, let's go into Snorlax. I don't want to use up Inteleon just yet. I feel I can definitely finish it off with Snorlax. I may even get a swap because I may think I'm thick fat, right? The thick fat ability. Now, instead of swapping, they went for a Dynamax. Oh, this is really bad because if they go for a fire type move, right, they'll put that Sun up on the field, and that's going to be, all sorts of problems for Zacian. My Inteleon, when he uses a water type move, it's like, damn, I probably should have swapped in my Incineroar there, but I thought they may swap out. So we got the big old Incineroar here, and they are going to go for the Max Flare. They're going to call my bluff, and Snorlax is going to hit super hard by that, and it's going to be going down. That's really unfortunate. So now we got the Sun out, and the Incineroar is in a very, very strong position at the moment. And all I've got is I've got my Zacian here still, and I've got my Inteleon. So I'm like, okay, I have to make sure that I take this Incineroar out, right? So going into Inteleon, it only has 38 health left. I was like, okay, I've got to make sure this takes it out. So I've got Snipe Shot. I'm like, okay, I should get a crit in, and that should be enough to take it out. So go for the Snipe Shot. Oh, man, it doesn't crit. And guess what, people? It's got weakness policy on top of that as well. So that's got +4 in special attack. Sorry, attack, right? So I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be crazy now. So Inteleon is going to get taken out there. And then I had this little feeling, right? This was more for science. I got to admit, this one was more for science. So, I wonder now if I swap in Corviknight, right? Seriously. If honestly, real talking. If I swap in Corviknight, go for the G-Max, will Ockerberry and Max Health be able to withstand an Incineroar at +4 in the sun and a Dynamax Max Flare? I was super curious how this would go. Corviknight is a bulky Pokemon, right? And, with all that, health investment, the extra on the G-Max and health, and the Ockerberry, I was really curious on the damage calcs of this. I wanted to see if I could take it out right. I was fairly confident that, there was a small chance that I could live it. So the Ockerberry is going to kick in there. It's about the size of Corviknight 10. And now we got the Max Flare here, and that is going to hit super hard, and it takes me out. I was like, damn it. I wanted to see if I could live. So down goes the Corviknight, even with the Ockerberry, it's not, and that insane bulk, it's not going to live there. I think I had a chance of living. I definitely would have lived it with a Sword Dance and an Ockerberry, definitely, but maybe the weakness possibly was probably just a little bit too much there. All right, so bring in Zacharization. I'm going to get that +1 in attack. This is my last Pokemon, right? So they're going to go out of the Dynamax, and I can just go for pretty much anything here is going to be good right now. They can't Dynamax anymore. They've used up that on the Incineros. I can go for a Crunch, Behemoth Blade, anything like that. So I just went for a Disrespect Crunch here to take out the Incineros. It felt pretty good taking out the Crunch because it's not very effective, right? So we've got 2 more Pokemon left. We've got a Zoroark, and I was like, okay, well, Zoroark, I know what Zoroark is going to try and do there, and the last Pokemon is Grimmsnarl, right? Now, I already know that Zoroark is like, okay, well, Behemoth Blade is going to be super effective against Grimmsnarl, and it's going to one-shot Zoroark anyway, so I might as well just go for that, right? This is definitely like probably I'd say one of the better or best legendary animations for a move. Looks really, really cool there. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best, right, but it's definitely be up there. So the purple Zoroark's illusion is going to wear off. Not that I didn't know what it was, and it's going to be going down. So now goes the Sunlight. We got one more Pokemon, which is the Grimmsnarl. Now, all I'm thinking here, the Grimmsnarl could do, it could go for a Prankster, and it could go for Reflect, right? So I'm like, okay, let's say go for a Reflect. What's it going to do then? Go for another one? So it's like, I'm going to go for Behemoth Blade, and, this is definitely going to take it out. They don't go for the Prankster or Reflect. I guess that's pretty much it for Grimmsnarl, and that, my friends, is the second battle. I hope you enjoyed both of them. Very, very close battles there. Zacian just dominating them both, basically. Just the top Pokemon, really. There's nothing I could have done there to nerf that one. All right, people, I'll catch you maybe tomorrow for another Think Team. Peace.